Hello and welcome to this special podcast. I am Subrat Tripathi.
And I am Hamida Keshwani. Today we are going to talk about something that's quite literally beneath our feet but affects life on entire earth. Yes, soil. We are thrilled to have a special guest with us here who will be talking with us about soil and its importance. So all you young soil explorers out there, be ready for it. So let's welcome Mr. Satyajit Hange and burst some soil myths together. Welcome Mr. Hange to our podcast.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, I'm a farmer's son and I come from a small village called Bhodni, which is in the interiors of Pune. After doing a job for a couple of years, the farming interest kind of got reignited and we went back to explore and to do farming.
How do you measure soils? Are there any innovative ways, or what do you do to know how is the soil condition right now, whether it's healthy or not?
All across farmers and the government measures soil on a set parameters, which are macronutrients, NPK, and the micronutrients. There are 17 of the micronutrients. And soil samples are taken and they're sent to a laboratory where the farmer gets the reading. It tells them the available macro and micronutrients in soil. But those nutrients are in an unavailable format. So it's like I'm giving you grains to eat. You cannot eat a grain directly. You have to grind it to make flour, bake a bread or make a chapati and then have it. You have just converted an unavailable format to an available format. Similarly, this unavailable format needs to be converted to an available format. And the most important medium which does this is soil microbiology. Is the bacteria, fungi, nematode, protozoa that make all this available to the plant. And that's why soil in its right earnest needs to be tested for soil microbiology and not available nutrients.
So can you tell us what is the ideal physical properties that is required for a soil to thrive these kind of microorganisms?
Ma'am, what is the most important thing in soil is the carbon in soil. That carbon comes from dried leaves. That carbon comes from dried twigs, prunings, cuttings, everything in that tree or plant, except what the farmer removes as fruit or vegetables, needs to go back into the soil. And that becomes soil carbon, which feeds the microorganisms. So I would say the most important aspect is carbon, getting back into the soil. I function on 4 basic principles. The first principle is inoculation of healthy bacteria in the soil. So I have to take a medium that has a lot of microbiology and inoculate the soil with that medium. And that medium for farmers is cow dung, because that cow dung is rich in all the microbiology. So the first principle is that I put this cow dung in the soil, so it helps in increasing the soil microbiology. The second principle is I mulch the soil with all dried matter that is from the farm that I just told you about. All the leaves and everything needs to be mulched on the soil.
Mulching.
The mulching,
Yeah.
but not the plastic lining mulching. This is organic waste or organic matter mulching. That ensures that the soil microbiology consumes that organic matter and grows in population. And the mulching also ensures that soil, the water evaporation from soil, that speed is reduced. The third is to plant a heterogeneous food forest and not rely on monocropping.
Multiple cropping pattern.
Multiple cropping pattern. You plant monocots, dicots, medicinal plants, forest plants. You plant tubers, flowers. You create a veritable food forest. That heterogeneity ensures soil microorganisms grow well. That's the third principle. And the fourth principle is to plant a forest wall around the farm. So you plant trees that grow straight and grow to a great height, that protect the wind from blowing into the farm and taking away all the carbon dioxide that is generated from all these decomposing organic matter, and the water evaporation rate decreases when the wind speed is decreased. So these 4 basic principles will help you increase soil fertility.
You just mentioned about growing trees around the farm. So does this also plantation basically impact soil erosion?
We go in for trees like bamboo or Australian pine that go straight but don't have wide branches. What they do is, if the wind is blowing at a high speed, they reduce the speed of wind. So because of which erosion is less. Second is they arrest water in a high rainy season, and they ensure the water percolates and goes down to the water table and recharges the water table instead of flowing off with the soil. Third is a lot of biodiversity in terms of birds and other organisms live on those trees, which do integrated pest management on the farm. So they help you in that way. I've always believed that the subjects we teach in school should include a subject about agriculture and about growing food. Growing food is a life essential skill. And when children are taught about how food needs to be grown sustainably, that teaching will be with them for the life. The way they choose their food, they'll be more conscious about choosing food that has been grown sustainably. And when children do this kind of farming on school premises, they learn biology, they learn chemistry, they learn physics, they learn environmental science, they learn soil science, and they learn growing food.
Lastly, do you have any message for our young soil explorers and enthusiasts out there?
I want to tell all of those young scientists and young soil enthusiasts that the world needs you. What you all are working on and the future in this is just amazing. You know, the world has had enough of doctors and engineers and technology people. We need more people who can grow food sustainably and grow clean food and look after soil, because if there is no soil, there is no world.
That's right. We hope this podcast helps all you young soil explorer out there and inspires you to go outside and measure, monitor and manage soil today. Remember, taking care of soil is taking care of future.
Hello and welcome.
Camera rolling.
मेरे को $100
बस
मैंने दे रहा हूँ मैसेज.
Okay,
You record this up,
sound rolling, action.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
थोड़े से पेजेस हमें लगेंगे, but नुपुर मैम